A simple story, it's a retaining wall.
The existing retaining wall was failing.
Is he licensed? Is he insured? Did you ask all that?
No.
No. So you didn't really check him out, did you?
We had a contract. We had engineering approved plans. What could go wrong?
We can clearly see it's a really bad footing.
The wall's just gonna fail 100% in this junk.
You didn't check him out, so I blame you for that. But at the same time, and I don't want to get into a debate with you, when you're a contractor, you need a level. You need a pencil, you need measuring tape, you need some common sense. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Looks like he left everything at home that day, including his measuring tape. You must be Elaine.
I am.
Well, I'm Mike. Yes,
Good
nice
morning.
to meet you. And Bert?
Nice to
Pleasure to
meet you,
meet you.
Mike.
Well, why don't you come out? Why don't you
Okay,
come out?
okay.
Elaine and Bert live in a neighborhood where the lots vary in height from one house to another, some very drastic. The grade of their neighbor's home is about 5 feet below their home. This is why they got to have a retaining wall in place to hold back the earth in their yard. Their wall was old. It was starting to fall down. It's time for a new one. Let's talk about this. You hired a contractor in the neighborhood to do a retaining wall on your property. As a matter of fact, if I'm right, he came in and said, I think you need a new retaining wall.
He was working at our neighbor, and he came and asked us if we had work that we needed done, because he was going to be working right next door, and that it would make it easier if there was anything we needed done while he was here.
Okay.
And so it was at that point that Bert had the discussion with him about our retaining wall was failing. You could see at the base of it that it was pulling to the west towards our neighbor's garden. And we were worried because some of the fencing was attached to the siding of our house. We really didn't want that pulling away.
You did get a contract.
Right.
You did check out the contractor. Is he licensed? Is he insured? Did you ask all that?
No.
No. So you didn't really check him out, did you?
I mean, we had a contract, we had engineering approved plans, and we had an engineer actually approving the stages, what could go wrong.
We were already stressed about this job. Nobody likes to, at the beginning of the summer, have their garden ripped up. And I had been diagnosed with cancer and had to have surgery. When we signed the agreement with this contractor, he assured us, listen, you know, when you get out of the hospital, you're going to be able to sit out in your backyard and enjoy it for the rest of the summer. And we were already concerned about the situation, but I noticed when Bert was coming to visit me, he was very stressed about what was going on at home.
So I'm going to assume they put the 4x4s in. Is this your contractor who did this, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's
That's right.
building a retaining wall and a fence on top of it?
And when I came home, we started watching the workmen, and they were getting ready to start rebuilding the wall. They didn't have any plans. They started taking away fill and taking away supports from our back deck steps. And Bert went out and said, hey, those steps are going to fall off. You got to put a support there. Oh, yeah. So then they put a support there.
Clearly, he doesn't know how to use a string line because I'm seeing a lot of the blocks staggered out. Well, it's just a sloppy job.
I emailed the contractor and I said, you know, we're really upset. This doesn't seem to be going well. You're never here supervising. And it was only a couple days after that the engineer came. When the engineer sent us the pictures that he'd taken about how they shimmied the bottom and stuck little pieces of stone in to level it, and they were already falling out, and said that this was the worst job that he'd ever seen.
Okay, and the debris that I'm seeing here?
Yeah, well, that's part of the contractor. When the engineering firm said this wall is the worst piece of work we've ever seen, the contractor didn't want to look at it. He didn't want to offer to
Oh, he was giving
correct
up
it.
right away.
He gave up immediately. That was it. He picked up his things and he left.
Okay, let's talk about the money here.
Yeah.
How much did he charge?
We estimated that the total cost was going to be between $17,000 and $18,000. So far, we're out over $12,000.
Something I say a lot, if the price is too good to be true, it usually is. In 10 minutes of seeing the backyard and everything that was there, my initial ballpark price would be $40,000, and I'm not even done checking it yet.
Then we started saying, well, what are we going to do? Our foundation was left exposed, and we consequently paid someone to put some waterproofing on the foundation because we got very worried about rain and then frost coming. But when we started saying, well, we can't just keep this, we started getting quotes. We started to get really scared because we could see from the estimates that we were getting, they had to first of all charge to take out his mess and then charge to rebuild. And we're sort of thinking like, there goes our retirement savings, right? Like you could see the dollars ticking up with what we'd already spent.
So he had to do everything by hand because he obviously can't get a tractor in here. So if the retaining wall is approximately this height, how tall did you want the fence off the retaining wall?
We would like our fence to be about 7 feet high.
Okay, do you know the bylaws in this area? Because I do.
Okay.
And the bylaws in this area will not exceed 6 foot, 6'6".
No, but lattice.
Doesn't matter.
It will be like that. That is what used to be there, Mike.
Once you take it down completely, you must conform to new bylaws. It's not like you're repairing it, you're replacing it. If the engineers didn't tell you this, I'm really surprised with that because we're not allowed to exceed 6'3" to 6'6", depending in certain areas.
So
now, didn't he do a foundation?
So his answer was when I showed them the plans. He said,
After years of being in the industry, I've learned how to work with homeowners. Okay,
no, but just let me. So the engineers firm said to
Bert
me,
wasn't really listening to me. And that kind of concerned me. Right there, it didn't take me long, 10 minutes, to realize, well, if you're not going to listen to me, are you listening to the engineer? Are you actually listening to the contractor? Because a homeowner who doesn't know what he's doing, trying to control everything, can be a bad thing. It actually could be a terrible thing. Okay, but you can't just blame the contractor. You can't just blame the engineer, because that's what you're doing right now. You didn't check him out. You didn't do it, so I blame you for that. But at the same time, and I don't want to get into a debate with you, at the same time, you didn't do your homework, and you expected, because you hired an engineer, that this contractor would do his work.
We really thought we had done due diligence, but I think that for the homeowner, you never do enough, and you have to check everything, and it's, you know, it's almost as much as doing the job.
Now, clearly, I see, walking from your neighbor's yard in here, this wall is higher than his grade.
Yeah.
In order to have this wall in, it needs to be lower than his grade, because that has to be down in the ground to build this wall up so it doesn't slip and slide. You can see this wall is actually dropping that way, right?
Yeah.
And that's because he did do this. It's clear to me, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing when it comes to a retaining wall. Who said put the 4x4s down inside this?
It was on the
Engineers?
Yeah.
Well, I could smack the engineer for that, because you should never look at these 4x4s. Not only are they twisted, warped, there's no way that a 4x4 that length is going to be perfect within this wall. It should have been a 6x6, absolutely bare minimum. This is my job as a contractor, to work with you, explain what needs to be done, to work with the engineer to go, look, I disagree with you, we need to do this. I'm blaming a lot of people here now. I'm blaming the engineer for not staying on top of this that you paid him for. I'm blaming the contractor because he doesn't know when to say, I give. This is beyond me. I shouldn't have touched this. So this is done. This crap is done.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna show you what we need to do to fix this. The biggest problem I see right now is the contractors that do not know how to tell the homeowner what they need. They say, yes, yes, okay, sign in the bottom line, give me some money, and it's not gonna work out. Because if you can't stand up to the homeowner and say, hold on a second, I can't build you an 8-foot fence. I can't do that. You can't have that. But here's how we can work together. This is what I can do. Does it make sense to you? Now that makes sense to me. We have a good 4-foot height difference from one property to the next. You gotta have a retaining wall in there. If you don't, how do you grade that down? How do you walk across your property? The only way to do that, actually, is to slope the land into your neighbor's yard. then you walk sideways across your neighbor's property to get in. It doesn't make sense, does it? The retaining wall had to be in place.
Mike, in retrospect, I mean, there were hints.
There's always hints.
And there became more hints as
I call them little red flags that just wave unless you see that red. Did he check out the contractor? I mean, what he actually did was go to the neighbor's house to look at the work the guy did, which was not a lot of work.
The weakness of the whole plan was we had someone that was not experienced in doing this type of work.
All right, if you find string, bring it out, please. 2 shovels, that's good. Ladder. I actually brought in enough guys to do the demo today to take that wall down, but now that I see everything, I put a hole to it. What we really need to do is check all grades, check to see if it's even going to work. Is he on property line? I know he's not level, I know it's not right. Draw it up, because I'm working with someone that's very particular, and show him what I can do. And after that, I'm gonna take the wall down and I'm gonna rebuild it.
Bert is very detailed, and it helps him to see the plan so that he knows it's going to be with what we're hoping for.
Yeah, like I think it was a relief for you too, though, to see the plan.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
And we're gonna go ahead, yes?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
That's all I want to hear.
Definitely, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
This was a good
Thank
day.
you. Very good. yes.
Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna remove all of this, and we're gonna build a brand new wall that's gonna come up even higher with the bigger stone. We will then mount in to the wall steel post and put up a nice fence across, bringing that grade back up again directly to the back. It will look good, and it will be right. Bad news is we couldn't get our regular bins in here because they couldn't even turn the corner, but Steve from Better Contracting has given us his 2 little bins. I've never seen a bin that thin, but that is beautiful for this job. When you work in such a tight group or tight knit of housing, which this is, I mean, I gotta bring in small bins, and each and every day I've gotta have those bins pulled out. I can't leave them in the laneway. Last thing I wanna do is actually make all these people upset at me because I'm in here helping someone. But let's see how fast we can do this. Time? Okay, let's see if we can do it in an hour. So none of these are glued. I don't believe this. Well, because he didn't glue it, and so far I'm not seeing any glue except for on this side. We'll see how well he's done that side. We just made an easy path, and again, we're not wasting the stone. If it broke up, I'm gonna have to throw it out into the bins. The more I can collect, and let's see if we can collect about 80, 90% of it, I'm gonna be a happy guy, and it's less we gotta bring in. Here's what I love about this stone. You can see when I pile it on top, it literally, what it does is it's locking itself in place from sliding back and forth. Not to mention, it also interlocks sideways. Not just underneath it, but this stone will lock into this stone. The next stone goes on top, locks into that stone, and if it's glued correctly, it's locked. It's like a poured concrete foundation bigger than any house I've seen. Do that properly, it stays. Don't do it properly, it leans, and then it falls over. Think about it, the total weight is rested on pebbles. It's not designed that way. One is they're supposed to be glued. That's not glued. I pull that up, what do I see? Oh, it is glued, but it's not glued. And then you're gonna put on pebbles. No wonder it didn't actually hold it because the pebbles were in place. The problem is because his wall is leaning in this way, what he's done was put in pebbles with the glue. It didn't bond, and that's not gonna work. One, leaning that way is not gonna work because eventually it's gonna wanna go that way. And 2, it's all gotta be uniform. If you put it in properly, it will retain the earth. That's a lot of earth this has gotta hold back. What you don't want it to do is push it away. All this money down the drain to pull it out and do it again, which unfortunately we're doing. Found something? Oh, geez. Well, it's already washing away. It's a really bad footing.
Yeah.
And again, nothing's glued.
Look at that. They tried to...
Put some bricks in holding in place. What we need is this footing needs to be in the ground. If they're gonna use an aggregate footing, it needs to be beneath the Earth's surface.
Yeah, below grade. needs to be well below grade. That way, you know, you don't get stuff like this washing away, and the wall's just gonna fail 100% in this
Well, it's already failing.
junk.
Is there a footing on that? It looks like you did pour a bit of concrete. There's your footing. That's ridiculous. If you're going to concrete in this ground, it has to go into undisturbed soil. Here he's built up his own footing with an aggregate and then poured concrete. That's kind of funny, really. Aggregate is just a term for sand, crushed stone, and you can use this as a base for the wall or a foundation, but it needs to be held in. If it's above grade, it's gonna fall apart. What they did here was start to dig for the footing at the high end of the grade and work down to the low end. So to maintain level, by the time they got to the low end, they were placing the aggregate above grade instead of below grade. This would have caused the footing to wash away and the wall to fail. We won't make that same mistake. We're gonna get below grade, starting from the low end and work our way up. But this time, we're gonna use a concrete footing. You can do an aggregate footing. On this height of a wall, on this weight of a wall, plus all the weight of the earth that's gonna be trying to push against it, I'd recommend doing a concrete footing for a couple reasons. One, we can do a footing in place, 100% level. You pour the concrete, and we got a level start. Two, it gives it a nice base that we can actually bond to, rather than sitting on stone that can rock. Just makes sense.
Put it on this one. There's a couple more if you want to put a GoPro on. The original retaining wall was built on the dirt. A little bit of bee gravel here and there, but essentially on the dirt. On top of that, it was sticking out of the ground. It had nothing locking it in, nothing to keep it from pushing down into this neighbor's yard. If they'd gone up full height, I'd be surprised if that lasted the season. One good frost would have pushed that right into this lady's yard. By pouring this footing, by digging it down in, by adhering our blocks to this thick 8-inch footing, we're gonna get a good foundation for this wall. We'll tarp it up to keep the heat in for overnight. Come back in a couple days and we start building our wall. I got it. Oh, that's not heavy at all.
You know, this is one of those jobs that I call a small job, but it's a big job. It actually is a really big job. We're gonna have to move all the stuff up here and then all the backfill, fixing the backyard, fixing the grading all the way up to the back doors, putting in the trellis, fixing the stairs. It's what I call a little big job.
We could have wondered about the workmen. For one thing, they never cleaned up the work site. There was garbage everywhere. But also, we should have thought of that they didn't have a Johnny on the spot for these poor men. Of course, when we went out to the garage after, we realized where they were urinating, right? Because they were using the garage.
Hindsight being 100%, I would have never started this job, never.
We've had the concrete footing cure for probably 5 days now. It's 8 inches thick, it's good, it's gonna be underground the way it should have been started in the first place and not relying on, let's say, a bed of stone. Even though you can do it, but it should be in the ground. All right, well, let's pull the forms off. It being really cold is not a huge deal because all we're doing is mortaring the base, and the base is the first stone. And then what we want to do is make sure we're 100% level. Just string lines, just string lines.
Perfect right there.
Make sure it's perfect, because your first row is everything.
Awesome.
Boom, 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 up she goes, and it doesn't do this like it did before.
Now that we have our string line set to 2 courses up, it really just makes it easier to work with, get the line nice and high. So I just have a partial piece that I'm gonna be using to level the bottom blocks, because then I could hit it off my string line. So I can see here, I'm touching the line, so I'm gonna need to add about a 1/4 inch of mortar. So I'm gonna take this up, add my 1/4 inch mortar bed, lay it down, tap it into place, level everything down to where it needs to be. So you can see now, the level sits right at the line, as opposed to sinking down. So I've gained my 1/4 inch height that I need. Keep doing the same with the rest of the stones, just repeating the process. Work my way right down to the end of the wall. Once that mortar base is done, we can go ahead and glue the rest.
So what I'm doing is just chipping off manually a lot of this old glue, the PL, which sets like stone. With doing this, what we're able to do is actually recycle all of these stones. Makes the job go a lot longer, but just with this steel chisel, as you can see, it comes off with a little bit of elbow grease.
So what's your plan here? What do you want to do overhead? You want to do something along there?
Well, it appears they had something here. They had a block on the wall, so I would think that trellis came right across and then returned into this corner. That's what I'm seeing. All I'm doing is thinking ahead. Once we've got our retaining wall in place, our fence line, and they really talked a lot, the homeowners talked a lot about that trellis. So I'm just thinking, okay, what did it look like? I can tell by looking at it. It's as good as the fence that was there, which is not that good. What can I do to complement it, make it work? So discussing it with Adam, I think we've come up with a plan, and I think they're gonna be surprised. All right, then, let's put up a nice cedar trellis. It'll complement the fence. And I gotta tell you, it'll be 10 times better than what they had. With the first course laid and level, we're gonna fly through this. The rest of the wall is gonna be easy. Really, it's like laying Lego with glue. Once you have a solid and level foundation, it makes the rest of the job easy. Something the previous contractor screwed up completely. We need to install the weeping tile, which would drain the water away from the wall to prevent any damage from water or the freeze-thaw cycle. Once we have that in place, we can start to infill the yard. We're going to reuse the sand that's already on site. That makes sense. And it'll be great for drainage. Every 12 inches, we'll tamp it down to get full compaction, which will reduce the settlement of the earth. The goal here is really simple. We want to make sure that our base is stable. And with the proper drainage and flow, we can control that water. That's going to keep our base down good and our wall from crumbling in the future.
So what we're doing right now is taking out any of the inconsistencies in the capping modules for the wall. We're gonna add butyl tape. It's pliable and it has adhesive qualities. So we're gonna use this just to level the stones, because instead of putting a shim in, a shim's not gonna move. We'll put this in and then we can beat it down to the right height that we need. So you can see now we're just a little bit higher. And now it's pliable. We can beat that down right into place, make it nice and seamless. And then once we've done that, we take the cap off. So you can see it's molded to our stone, giving us the right gap on this side, also on this side. So now we can finish PLing the wall and then put it back into place. It'll be at the exact height that we want.
Now, this is looking like a proper wall, eh, John? It's the way it's supposed to be.
Absolutely. It doesn't get much better than this.
No.
It's clean, tight, no shims.
I mean, it looks like we're almost done. The wall's up, part of the grade is back in place. We still probably have 2 more feet of grading that's got to come in, correct all the flagstone, make it look good, fix the stairs, put up the fence, get the gate in. It's not that small of a job. It actually is a big job, but we're getting there. Maybe another week, maybe 2.
Okay, so what I'm doing now is just laying out our layer of geogrid before we start backfilling our aggregate material on top. Now, the purpose of the geogrid, it acts like a tie back. The weight of the wall is going to lock the geogrid in at that level. So although this wall has been built to never move, this geogrid, when the aggregate sits on top, is really going to hold this wall from ever moving. It gives that added strength so that if there is ever any pressure on the back of this wall, it's going to hold it into place.
Oh, hey, look at, You got air conditioning. What happened there?
To the waistline.
How'd you do that? It's all this work you're doing. Carlito, do we have any duct tape? I think John needs some duct tape.
I think he's gonna need more duct tape. Doesn't seem that cold out, Johnny.
We were becoming more and more terrified, actually, about were we ever going to get this job finished? Were we going to be able to afford it? What was going to happen to our house? What was going to happen to our backyard? It seemed like we needed to be rescued in some way.
Okay, right now I need you to smile. Now leave this in my lap because now this crap went from you to me.
Yeah, but that is reassuring for us.
So first stages of this interlock process, we have our 3/4 gravel base going in. That's really our heavy base. Then we bring in a thin layer of 1/4 inch clear gravel. Really, that's just for our leveling base. Then from there, we take our leveling poles. So we run those along the string lines, and we can just pull across with a piece of board or even a level. That's gonna get everything nice and flat in the areas that we need it. Then from there, we can go ahead, start figuring out our pattern, and we're good to go.
What we've done is we've chose a specific width for the walkway, right? So it works out against our borders here with no cut. As you can see, all these are full stones, and then we can just pop our border right in. So this pattern we've chosen is really easy to lay because every other row is exactly the same. This row is the same as this row, and this row is the same as this row. And as you can see, one rectangle is equal to a big one and a medium. So you can randomize it any way you want.
All right, got it?
Yes.
Still level?
Yes.
We've removed the old ledger plates for the old awning. It was against the wood and it was against the brick and it was basically rotting. We decided to use cedar. We could have used pressure treated, but it's a much better look. It smells beautiful and it's gonna look great with the neighborhood. What we're doing right now is we put the lags through, allowing for these spacers to fit over top so that when we lift it and put it into place, the spacers will already be there. We're leaving a 5/8 space between the actual cedar and the actual surface. So that way when the water comes and hits this, it will actually be able to flow through and it'll be able to dry properly. That way we won't have rotting wood.
Is it cold enough for you?
It's almost there. Just a little bit more, and I think
This
it'll
is
be all right.
ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, this is looking really good. I've asked my guys to actually extend the core drill to 12 inches deep. Coring down 12 inches, I need to think of the fence as a sail because it is going to be a full privacy fence, meaning wind is going to want to push it. So with doing this, coring it down, now we're going to use a very quick drying grout. And you got to look at the temperature. Yes, it's nice, bright, sunny out, but it's freezing cold. Fast setting, erect it up, strong, clad over. Nice and simple. A lot of people don't realize when you're doing something like this, you can easily anchor in a steel post and then clad over it, rather than relying on a 4x4, which not only twists, but it's not a really strong anchor into this retaining wall that we have.
Yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna frame the top and the bottom with a 2x4, which gets screwed into these holes that are existing on the post. And then we're gonna use a tongue and groove board, some trim work top and bottom too to kind of decorate it a little bit.
Okay, this is gonna look good.
So what I have here is a 5,000-pound D-clip. There's not much weight
on this trellis at all. It's actually really light. The cedar is so light. It's 5,000 pounds per bracket. There's over 25,000 pounds of pickup load here. There's no way that this is ever gonna break. It's all galvanized, carriage bolts. We're tied in through the back. We're not just lagged in, we're actually washer and bolted in. It's nice and tight. It's overkilled. That's what we like to do. We don't want anyone getting hurt. The reason we're actually cutting them off is that we're gonna be scabbing or skirting around the outside with a 2x8 so that outside scabbing will cover these and you will not see them from the outside. It'll be a really nice clean look.
Now, I wish I knew that language. But you know what? I'm pretty good at this. I can assume what you're saying. Is the 2x4 in the way? Is it push the string over?
There you go.
Okay. I am a contractor.
I just had to send Sherry and Derek out to go get some snow shovels so we can remove the rest of the snow that's on here. We've been digging all day.
You better not get hurt. We're gonna get in trouble.
I'm totally gonna get hurt.
I haven't seen snow well before Christmas in years. So much that I'm plowing and shoveling at my house, every job site, including this one. We're working outside. It is what it is, but when you get this much snow, it's a real pain in the butt. And what do we want to do? We want to give it back to them tomorrow, which means not only are we going to be shoveling, cleaning off the fence, we're going to bring in torches and heat it all up and try and make it look like somewhat of a spring finish and white all around it.
Make a truce. It's too slippery out here. Truce for now. Okay? Let's get back to work. He's gonna get me back. Good.
We have had snow for 3 days straight. This has been ridiculous. We're even putting down tarps. It's really slippery on us, but I mean, we have to do what we have to do. We've tarped in the stairs, because what we're trying to do is fix it up with the rails, paint it up a little bit. It's looking really good. No, all this costs money and time. We've been shoveling and shoveling and shoveling. Still working. It's like the mail going through. But we gotta heat this because we gotta paint it.
So what we're applying here is a latex paint. It's an exterior. Now the conditions aren't ideal. We do have a built tent here with the gas furnace. It's fully regulated temperature at about 15 degrees, which is ideal what you want for latex paint. Well, for any paint in the exterior. As you can see how I'm dressed, it's pretty nice and warm in here. So we shouldn't have a problem in adhering. So that's the exterior painting in the wintertime.
It looks great. Are you kidding? I even love the trellis. Love the chain idea. That was yours, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was nice to do something new.
You're getting pretty funky in this, you know that?
Let's have some fun here.
Yeah.
Let's try something new, and it worked.
It does. It looks actually great.
Yeah, it's nice. It's clean.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Really good look. Carl's done a great job on the stairs, making sure we have a 7-inch rise all the way down. So from the top here, 7, 7, 7, right down to the bottom step. Totally meets code. Little things that we want to do is to make sure that we bolt everything in and not just add screws. When you can put 2 bolts, again, it's code, in the bottom and in the top into the structure, we pass code. We used to do this all by hand. Sure, it's loud, but it's great. This is one of those toys that we have. New tools, toys. What? Beautiful. Old code on a rail used to be 32 inches, which is a real comfortable height going up and down the stairs. But now a guardrail must be 36 inches. And that's just really for safety, for anyone that's tall, anyone that can fall over, think about it for kids and everything. So we're gonna make sure that that top rail is 36 inches in place.
We're just replacing the old iron gate now. For one, can't see in the backyard from the street. Two, the old iron gate wasn't quite wide enough for the new post that we put in. And three, it just gives a nicer look, matches the nice new fence. It's all nice and new and complete.
We have these beautiful solar lights. We'll have the solar mount up there so we get as much daylight as possible, so it's separate from the light itself, allowing you to install the light wherever you want and put the solar array up to 15 feet away, taking advantage of the sun. It's also a type of light that we like because if you walk by, it's a sensor. Boom, it turns on. We don't need to run an electrical line, get a permit, just put up the light.
We're giving the house back to Bert and Elaine today. We got to get rid of some of the snow so they can actually see it. It's kind of the hazard of this time of year. So me and Derek got some torches here and we're just spraying the snow, getting rid of the ice on the bottom. They did a great job of tarping the property to keep most of it off, but this will just be the finishing touch for Bert and Elaine.
I love these because that's a nice effect. It finishes the top of the post. It keeps the water and snow from sitting in and absorbing and rotting the top. So it gives us, again, solar lights. They're LED on the top, dresses it up, serves the purpose. You see the stairs. Again, you see the stairs, you see the opening. It's the little things we do that make a huge difference. And I'm pretty damn sure that the other guy wasn't going to do this. I'd put my money on that, actually.
So you know what's happening here?
Yeah, there's a big bare spot on the...
Big bare spot. We have no way of getting a paint sample for it so that we can cover it up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a plaque. And since you're so good at drawing and you do tattoos for everyone, I'm expecting you to do exactly the H and Mike. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna router different depths.
Perfect, man.
Nice.
Solid.
See you in 10 minutes?
Yeah. 7.5.
That's funny. Nice try. I swore that was the right way, too.
It's been a long time since we've been able to actually walk along the house to our garage, use our backyard. I can't wait to get out there.
Hi, Mike.
Elaine,
Hi.
are you ready?
Good to see you. We're ready.
Good to see you.
We're excited.
Come on out. I'm sorry it's not spring.
We're excited to see this.
I wanted to take them to the neighbor's side so they could, one, see it from the neighbors, see what the neighbor sees, and really explain the wall, because you can't see the retaining wall from Bert and Elaine's side, only from the neighbor's side.
Oh, look at it from this side.
Holy
Yeah.
moly.
Isn't that nice
She's
to
got
see
a
it?
great view here.
Yes.
Yeah, what a gorgeous wall and fence.
The one thing I love about this is that it's level. Ooh.
It's level. Well, why was I here? Because some guy came in to build a massive retaining wall, dig a big hole in the backyard, and leave it, because he couldn't do it right. In order to make it level, you know, we had to take it completely down, and then we poured in 8-inch footing right into the ground where it should be. And what that does is gives us a great starting block, not to mention a footing that is unbelievable. Every single one of these were PL Premium, where your other guy, he only glued a couple of rows. We were actually able to salvage every single piece of it. And not to mention, the biggest thing about this was that the way he did it was put the 4x4s right through to the bottom. That would require it to be like a poured concrete wall. Because if it's not glued, you put those posts in and that's a sail, right? When that wind hits it, that's a sail, just like a sailboat, and it's gonna wanna pull it right out. And it would pull the stone right over.
Yeah.
Well, you want to see the other side?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think you're going to like
Yeah,
it. Come on.
Yes, okay.
After you.
We were surprised that the job actually was able to get completed. It started snowing. We're thinking, how are they ever going to work in the cold? And they did. They worked right through it. It was, the crews were amazing.
My fence guys, these are really good guys. I love this. Beautiful mechanism for closing. You got a new gate.
Really beautiful.
Go on down. You even got a set of new stairs.
Okay. Oh my gosh, look at this from here.
Oh my goodness.
We had confidence in Mike and the people that he brings in to do the work, and we've been rewarded. It's just, I would say it's beyond our wildest dreams. It's just a fabulous job. It's so inviting in our backyard, even in the middle of winter.
Now, if you notice, the trellis is fully suspended on its own. It is no longer tied up in the top of the fence.
I love that.
I think that's fantastic.
This
Who would have
is
thought
like
of that?
a beautiful design touch. That was brilliant, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm glad you like it.
Oh, the trellis, just a really nice highlight. It adds privacy. It ties in nicely to the new fence, and it's just great.
Believe it or not, this looks like everything was done by wood. We have steel posts that are bored 12 inches directly into the retaining wall.
Oh, fantastic.
Then cemented in place, and then we clad around it and build the fence. So you can see your fence is very strong, which I like, and yet we have an anchor that's going to last forever, because that's going to be your weakest link, is the 4x4 that the other guy wanted to do that I would never allow. So steel in each and every post, cladded around, it looks like a 6x6, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
We fixed up your deck a bit.
Oh, wow, our old rickety deck. It looks like new.
Well, in order to do all this, you had to think about this. This has been freezing, hasn't it? And it's been snowing forever now, or it feels forever. It's been a week now of snow. We had to hoard this in, and we call it hoarding, but it's really putting up tarp, wood structure to hold it all in place. Put in the blower heater so we could paint your deck. Well, come see the back.
Okay.
Come see the back. Brought John
wow,
in.
and look at the stone. This is really something. It looks really good. I like the way they brought it right up and the curve in that stone. It's beautiful. I'm ecstatic. I just can't say how pleased I am. It's a beautiful job. We can use our garden again.
So now that it's not 8 feet tall as much as you wanted, how bad is that?
No, it's,
You know what
you were absolutely right. It's
You were right.
perfectly
This
fine.
is
It would have been too
perfect
tall.
height.
Yeah,
this is a beautiful
It's perfectly
height.
fine, and it works
the
really well
smell.
with the relationship with the trellis, I should
Yes.
call it trellis, yeah.
Well, this is so welcoming. I think we should all have a party out here. Yeah.
I never thought it would be this magnificent.
Hi guys, thanks so much. You did a fabulous job in the freezing weather.
Bert from the beginning was very focused on telling me what I need to know and how this should be done. He just didn't see that he had the right guys. Now, he's thankful, and it makes all of us feel good when homeowners feel good. So we did our job right.
It's really nice to see people that work so well individually and as a group together. That means a lot.
Bert spent a lot of time working with an engineer. He said 2 months planning this retaining wall, planning the backyard, planning the financial aspects to what this was going to cost, a supposed $17,000. If he had spent a quarter of that time finding the right contractor instead of someone in the neighborhood that happened to walk by and said, hey, you know, do you want any work? I'm finished now. I think he might have had a much better time than he's had this year.
Mike, we're not happy, we're ecstatic.
Yeah, this is unbelievable.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's fabulous.
Well, by coincidence, the best tobogganing hill in the city is about not even a block. It's right over there. We finished the job. All right. That was fun. You know you got to work tomorrow. Oh. All right, I've had enough. See you tomorrow.
For more information about this show, please visit hgtv.ca.